Hello class, today we are talking about transformations. We're still looking at reflection, translation, and rotation. If you were absent today, we started on page 65, and what we did is we reflected triangle ABC over the line AB, and we created the C to match C prime, okay? That sounds a little confusing, but what you're doing is you're using this line right here as reflection, and you will be flipping your paper over. And what you're going to end up with is an image that looks like this. C now matches up with C prime, B now B, and A now A. And that's because you take this triangle and you flip it over this line. There is going to be a reflection video of how to use patty paper for reflection in the spot for today. Please look at that support video if you're struggling with reflection. All right, I just want to move forward. That was kind of what we saw today in class, and we realized that the measurement of B and C will still be the same in the diagram as you see here. BC and BC prime will still be 2. The whole purpose of the day is to know that the size of the shape doesn't change, the location of the measurements do. And as we move along, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look what happens with triangles. On this one in class, we saw that when we put a midpoint midpoint M right here, we're able to rotate this blue triangle 180 degrees until it lands where the green one is. Okay? That means that this triangle to this triangle is congruent. It rotated around the point M, and it created a new triangle, C, D, and A. One thing I want you to realize is where B was is where D is. But the reason why A and C didn't change is because A prime is equal to A and C prime is equal to C. And it creates a parallelogram, okay? Is where it creates a shape with the two parallel lines. Now on to our homework. Our homework for today is to finish off 1 through 6 on page 66 and 67. We're going to take triangle 1. And if you need to, you can pause this video and you're going to take your patty paper and you're going to go ahead and trace triangle 1. After tracing that triangle, you're going to be asked to do various things from triangle 1 to triangle 2 or from 1 to 3. And you're going to tell me, did it reflect, which means did it flip? Did it translate, which means did it slide? Did it reflect? Did it flip? Okay? So now I have my triangle 1 on my patty paper you see here, and I label my points A, B, and C. And if I look here on my homework for number 1, it says describe the ridge transformation. Remember, it's a sequence of transformations that take place from triangle 1 to triangle 2. What points in triangle 2 correspond with A, B, and C in the original? Correspond means if I were to place my triangle right on top, what letters match up? So first thing I'm going to do is ask myself, did it rotate? Did it translate? Did it reflect? So I'm going to go here, and so far I'm rotating clockwise. That's 90 degrees. I have my L shape here. And I do one more, and I went clockwise. So here I'm going to write that I rotated clockwise 180 degrees. And what's going to happen is I see through my patty paper, my A, which is right here, now matches up with my C. So the A's and C match up, but B now becomes D. So I'm going to write B prime is equal to D, because I'm showing that this point here is equal to this point from when I rotated. And then this one here A is equal to A prime, and C prime. Remember, my A's and my C match up. C is equal to A prime. My C's and my A's match up. That's when I rotate. That's for what happened here. So I go ahead and what happened? Well, this is what happened. Rotated clockwise 180 degrees. And what are the corresponding? These are the corresponding points. For this one here, it's ask you to what happens from 1 to 3. Okay, how did you get there? You will write that here just as I did for number 1. For number 3 and 4, they're pretty similar. One is asking for the 2 pairs of angles that correspond, and this one's asking for 2 line segments that correspond. So I'm going to do line segments, and I want you to apply the same thing to angles. So what you're going to do is you're going to look here, and this is my diagram, and when you do number 2, you'll have the corresponding parts here just like you do from 1. So if I look here, I can say that A and B, I want to find what corresponds, which means when I have my triangle A, where is my AB here? Well, when I flip, my AB lands here. Because I know it lands here, I can say those are corresponding. They are the same length. A and B is congruent to C and D. And here's one way to write it. Line segment A and B is congruent. So it's like this equal sign with this little squiggly. It's congruent to line segment CD. One more time. AB is congruent to line segment CD. And one last explanation. That means that when I do the transformation, where is the corresponding line? This line, AB, corresponds to, CD corresponds to AB. You can even look here. I have AD corresponds to BC. You're looking at which ones match up. This matches up, this, I'll put 2 marks, and this one matches up. So the main focus of today was being able to use different transformations and identifying which line segment or angle, when the figures move, matches up, which means they're going to be corresponding. Please look back in your book and always know, if you're confused, you can always look at the summary, and I'll zoom out so you can see. But the summary gives you an idea of what you learned for the day and the lesson, and that might help with the connection. Good luck.